Yes. Oh, yes, wow. What a lovely day. What a lovely house. What a lovely hat. Thank you.
Oh, hello. I think we're rolling.
Oh dear.
Let's just get our studio faces on. Hello, and welcome back to Bible Behind the Scenes. I've just been behind the scenes with my good friend Gideon here. You look very rad today, if I do say so myself. I know how to give the best compliments all the kids love.
I can't even handle you, Martha. I can't.
So, Gideon has just been telling me a little bit about his story. It's fascinating. I think something we can all relate to, and yet something so miraculous that it's crazy. It all will make sense by the end of the interview, I'm sure. So, Gideon, you were just a humble boy working on his father's vineyard. You know, I'm sure you didn't have such a sweet stash then. Still working on it, I'm sure. You were still working on it when you were working in the vineyard, and how did your life change? I mean, something happened.
Well, I was the youngest of very many brothers, and because I was the youngest, I got stuck with the chores. And yeah, I was doing my chores, and then I was scared. I was also doing my chores in the basement because like there were these people called the Midianites, and they wanted to kill me. So yeah.
Oh. That's might be reason to be scared, I suppose.
Yeah.
Why do they want to kill you?
Oh, well, they hated Israelites, and I was an Israelite, and like they were trying to like take over our land, or they were just oppressive. They were mean.
Oh,
they wanted to kill
mean.
me because they were mean.
Super mean.
Yes.
Okay, well, so you were hiding in the basement doing your chores?
I was hiding in the basement doing my chores, and then all of a sudden some guy was like, "Hey, mighty warrior!" And I was like, "You're looking for my brothers? Because they're not here." And he's like, "No, you are the mighty warrior." And I was like, "Bro, I'm in the basement doing my chores." And so
So you
strange.
thought when he said mighty warrior, you just did one of these?
Yeah.
Didn't think he was talking to you?
Yeah, because I'm Gideon. I'm not a mighty warrior.
Oh. You're not?
No.
That's how you felt?
No.
Oh, okay. So when he did find out indeed that he was addressing you as a mighty warrior, then, I mean, what happened after that?
Well, basically, he told me that, like, God was gonna use me to, like, defeat the Midianites and to, like...
The people who wanted to kill you?
Yes, the people who wanted to kill me that I was currently hiding from because I was terrified. He's like, "You're gonna defeat them," and I'm just like, if I'm gonna do that, like, I need proof that you're from God, because clearly I can't do that. I'm Gideon. So, yeah, I needed proof. And so I definitely tested the angel, which I'm probably not supposed to do, but he was pretty nice about it. Yeah.
Yeah, so now what do you mean you tested him? I mean, was it not enough to just ask him?
Well,
you knew he was an angel from the Lord, a messenger from God.
But, like, the thing he was asking me to do was so crazy, and I felt so unable to do it that I was like, bruh, if this is gonna happen, I need to know for sure that this is God. Because, like, I know he could help me, but nobody else could help me do that, because it took a lot to help me do that, let me tell you.
Well, that is quite a pickle. I don't know what I would do if, an angel of the Lord appeared to me and asked me to kill my enemies who were trying to kill me, and... My.
Yeah.
Quite a pickle there, bruh. So tell me about these tests. My sources say it was a very interesting, unique situation.
Yeah, I was kind of like thinking on the fly, So I was like, what's the first thing I could think of? Fleece. So I was like, okay, if you're really from God, then I know that if the ground is wet, I'm gonna put this fleece in the ground first of all. And if the ground is wet when I wake up, but the fleece is completely dry, then I know you're from God. And it happened. I woke up the next morning and the ground was wet and the fleece was dry.
So then you knew that you were ready to go to battle and defeat the Midianites.
But I was still so scared, so I was like,
okay.
I need more proof. So I was like, okay, here's the thing, Mr. Angel. I need more proof. I need you to do the opposite this time. So like, if you can make the ground completely dry but the fleece completely wet, that'd be sick. And so I went to bed that night and I woke up and it happened and I was like, well, can't deny this. The fleece is wet. Fleece cannot be wet by any other means. So yeah.
Wow, that's a very odd choice.
Yeah, it was like, I guess it was because like when dew comes, you know, like at night, it goes everywhere. But I was basically like, God, you're in charge of the dew, so like you could make the dew do whatever you want it to do. So
Do.
such a good one. I'm so funny.
Indeed. Always good love a good do drill. Are we gathered?
Yes.
Anyhow, yes, so a very naturey thing to ask of the Lord, but I mean, if it worked and then, you know, inverted it and it worked again, so then, I mean, then you knew without a doubt that it was the Lord himself asking you to do this task.
Well, yeah.
So did you feel brave then?
No.
Oh.
I mean, I knew it was God. And so I was like, okay, I gotta do this because, like, God's telling me to do it. But at the same time, I was like, ah!
On the inside, screaming in
Yes.
terror. Okay, that's
Yes.
fair, that's fair. Going to battle against your enemies, it's
Yeah.
would have that reaction. So, tell me about the whole process then. I mean, was there a point? There's so many elements, so many layers to this whole story by the time it's over and done with. I mean, well, tell me about the story first. Tell me what happened.
Wow. Oh, like, everything?
Yeah, you know, a summary.
A summary. Okay, so basically, after that, I was like, okay, I need an army. So I gathered a whole bunch of people. I think it was like 3,000 or something like that. It wasn't a lot. It sounds like a lot, but like, when you think about it, the Midianites had like 100,000 probably. I couldn't even count them. So like, we had 3,000, we're like, we're gonna die. Yeah, so we were really outnumbered. And then God's like, no, actually, Gideon, you have too many people. And I'm like,
Too many?
God, that doesn't make any sense. And so then he like made me do a couple tests, and basically we chopped the number down to 300. So that's like 300 against like 100,000.
That's 10% of what you started with.
Yeah, it is.
My goodness, how odd.
It was strange.
Why do you think God did this?
You know, it took me a long time to figure it out, but I eventually came to the conclusion that he wanted to show me that, like, it wasn't about me. Like, the reason he must have picked me, the only reason I can think of that he would pick me was because I was the most fearful person in all of Israel.
So he wanted to use you as an example that if the most fearful, timid, you know, person could be a warrior and defeat the Midianites, lead his people into battle, then the people would know that God could do anything through anyone.
Yes.
It's a very good lesson. What about, get back to this battle story. Very interesting. So you had 300 men now.
Yeah.
Very small army. What's next?
Oh man, this is the good part. I don't know how I came up with this plan. I think God told it to me, but basically, we had the 300 men. We split into 3 groups. I think it was 3 groups. It was a long time ago, and we went on 3 different sides of the Midianite camp. And some of the men had trumpets, some of them, and the rest of them had jars of clay with lights inside of them.
Oh.
So like torches.
All right.
And
yes.
yeah, it was like a really strange plan, but like it worked, so I guess it worked. Anyways, yeah, so when the time was right, we had the men with the trumpets blow their trumpets like doo-doo, and then we had the men with the jars smash their jars to make a really loud noise and shine their lights and be like, for the Lord and for Gideon. And I think it was for Gideon, I don't know.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah,
You're the leader.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. It was for the Lord and for Gideon. And then the Midianites were like, we're surrounded. There's 1,000 of them. And
Many.
there's so many of them. And they got so scared. Pretty sure I heard a lot of them wet their beds. Anyways,
Leak that TMZ?
They were very scared. And then, they basically got so scared that they started running around like chickens with their heads cut off. I don't know if you've ever seen that. That's a sight to see. They were scared, and they were like, there's so many of them, we gotta kill them. But then because they were so scared, they started killing each other because they couldn't tell each other apart from us. So like we didn't really have to kill that many of them. I think I only like cut down maybe 2 or 3. The rest of them were killed by each other, and then they ran away because they were so scared, and they never came back. It was an interesting night.
Interesting, for sure. That's probably the most exciting night of your life.
Yeah, that and the time my brother had... that was...
I'm sure we'll
digestive issues. Let's
dear. I'm sure we'll save that story for another time. A less classy show, perhaps.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So tell me, that's a great story, but tell me how you felt through all of this. Was there ever a point where did you feel fearful the whole time? I mean, you obviously trusted God enough to go through with the plan. I mean, had you any faith in your small army, or how did this work?
First of all, I had zero faith in my small army. I had zero faith in myself. At one point, when we had the bigger army, I was like, this is pretty small, but I know I'm with God, so he can pull it off. But every time he told me to cut it down, it was like 2 or 3 times. I was like, God, what? And it was just, and I got more scared each time that happened. But then I was like, okay, no, I'm with God. God's on my side. He's gonna win. But then each time he throws that curveball, and I'm just like, God! And I was very scared.
Yes.
Yes.
So it was a bit of a roller coaster. We love those on this show.
Emotional
roller coasters. I love a good emotional roller coaster. Trusting God, and then fear, and then trust, and then fear. Oh, I love it. Lots of dips. But all in all, looking back, how do you feel about it now?
Now, I look back and I'm amazed because it's made me realize a few things. That, like, first of all, God can use anybody, because, he could use me. Second of all, he used me, so that means, I'm able to be used by him, which was pretty sick. I never thought in a million years that I would be used by God, and then, whoa, I defeated the Midianites, except not me, God did.
Yeah. But there you were, yes.
Yes.
Leading God's army.
Yes, yeah.
Never thought you'd see yourself in that position. Young boy, working in the vineyard, doing your chores, and then next thing you know, leading an army to defeat your enemies.
Yeah.
That would be amazing. So, is there any advice you have for our young viewers about, about trusting God even when you're afraid?
It's one of those things that you just have to do. You can still do it when you're afraid. You have to just choose to believe that God is gonna do what he says he's gonna do. And it made it a lot easier for me, I think, that I come from a long history of Israelites who have been through things that God has brought them through impossible things. And so I guess that made it easier sometimes. A lot of the times I was still screaming on the inside because I was so scared and because it seemed so impossible. But I knew in the back of my mind always that God, he is who he says he is, and he's going to do what he says he's going to do, and he can do what he says he's going to do.
So you're saying that no matter what God asks of us, or whatever we are, trusting him for, believing him for, that we can still be scared and really just afraid and nervous and still trust him, and we don't have to feel ready or brave before it happens.
Yes, exactly. Exactly that.
Oh, that's amazing. What a solid truth. Gideon's story and his sharing with us has taught us just that whatever we are trusting God for, whatever he asks of us, that we can go into it absolutely terrified. Just terrified and worried and sweating in all our sweat glands, and he will still come through for us. We can still trust him afraid, and he will always come through for us. It's a very, very valuable lesson. Thank you for coming on the show today.
Thank you for having me, Martha. It was quite a pleasure.
Stick around and chat, or do you have some vineyard chores to get back to?
I could probably have a couple minutes.
All right, well, let's have a coffee, shall we?
Let's
all right, let's say goodbye to the children. Yes. Goodbye, toodaloo. So, Martha, Gideon.
So, Gideon.
Yes.
Gideon. You're Gideon. I'm Martha.
Wardrobe! There's been a malfunction.
It happens sometimes.
What is this caterpillar on my face? This isn't part of my costume.
Are you calling my mustache a caterpillar?
Ah!
Put your hat back on,
You're a
lady.
fraud.
My mustache is so soggy.
It feels like a limp biscuit.
Volume, extra volume. They say it's the mousse and hairspray. It's bad for the ozone, but it's great for your hair.
Hopefully I didn't move my feet too much. I'm worried.